A few moments ago, we had a caller, Les in Georgia, I believe, it said throw the bums out. That the problem is that you got a permanent political class. Even though some of them are good guys, they've all got to go. You got to start over fresh. You got to get new blood in there, no matter how old that new blood is. We now have on the phone James Taylor. Mr. Taylor is running in the 4th Congressional District in Oklahoma. He's running against Congressman Tom Cole. He's going to primary him. Mr. Taylor, what has inspired you? Because you were born at night, but you were not born last night. So what
That's true.
Your late 50s. What has inspired you in your late 50s to actually say, I'm going to go run for Congress?
Well, I've been watching what's been happening and how our debt has just exploded. It was Einstein who said insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And it's time to stop the insanity. When Tom Cole became a congressman in 2002, our debt was $6 trillion. Now it's $19 trillion. He's voted for continued debt, raising the debt ceiling. The most recent was in October. He's on the Appropriations Committee, so he knows better. He knows what's going on. And so I have gotten so frustrated at watching our debt just balloon out of control. He has made it to where our grandchildren are just going to be saddled with so much debt that they're never going to recover from this. And so it's out of frustration that I'm trying to run and trying to move in that direction. And again, like I say, it's about the things that they funded and the omnibus bill that they funded. That's really what the trigger for me. That was the last straw.
Why was the omnibus bill, Mr. Taylor? Why was the omnibus bill the last straw for you?
Well, because it fully. First of all, he campaigned on repealing Obamacare, defunding Planned Parenthood. The list goes on and on. Well, under the omnibus bill, which they just passed in December, it fully funds completely Obamacare. It fully funds Obama's amnesty program. It fully funds sanctuary cities. It fully funds the Syrian refugee program. Fully funds alien resettlement programs. It fully funds tax credit for illegals. Fully funds Planned Parenthood, and that's a private organization. The list goes on and on and on. Sanctuary cities. It just goes on. And so it was the last straw for me saying, somebody's got to stop this. In fact, I went from saying somebody's got to run against Tom Cole, somebody's got to run against Tom Cole, to where I finally said, I'm going to run against Tom Cole.
Hang on for a second. This is everybody in this audience. This is what it's all about. This is a citizen that in his late 50s finally said, I've had a belly full of this. We got to find somebody to run against this guy. When he looks around, nobody's prepared to step up. Next man up. It's James Taylor. And he's in the 4th Congressional District in Oklahoma. He's finally had a belly full of it. And that's why he's here before you, the nation, saying, hey, you know what? I may lose this thing, but I'm going to go put some wood on this guy. Tell me, give us your background, Mr. Taylor. Give us a little history on yourself.
Well, I am a pastor, been a minister for, at the end of May, I'll be starting my 40th year as a pastor. I'm also a bivocational. I teach U.S. history to 8th graders in Oklahoma City. And so those are the things that I've been doing. I've always been concerned about our politics and what's happening in the nation. In fact, the people at our church, I do such research that people ask for my cheat sheet when I go into the voting booth, because they know I've done research on judges. I've done research on all the candidates to look at I look at issues, not necessarily people, because sometimes you get people that claim to be one thing and they're not. And so that's what I look at as the issues. In fact, my book is biblical, not political. How to line up candidates biblically is a book designed to vet candidates. And this was written before I was running. And so that applies to me as well. And so I try to vet candidates who I'm going to vote for, and also issues that I'm going to vote for. I need to know what's going on. And so that's what I try to do. That's basically my background.
Mr. Taylor, for people out there that maybe are not as grounded in any religion or even their own religion, right, that maybe just phone it in when it comes to religion and are kind of secularist or just middle of the road, but however, like the fact of a firebrand who, says we got to get the debt in this country under control, we got to get the spending under control. But when they listen to you, they say, oh, I love this guy, but he's just one of these Bible cranks, right? Please, what do you have to say to them?
Here's what I have to say. I want to quote the words of a pastor in the 1800s. Here's what he says, quote, the people are responsible for the character of the Congress. If that body be ignorant, reckless, and corrupt, it is because the people tolerated ignorance, recklessness, and corruption. If it be intelligent, brave, and pure, it is because the people demand these high qualities to represent them in the nation's legislature. If the next centennial does not find us a great nation, it will be because those who represent the enterprise, the culture, and the morality of the nation do not aid in controlling the political forces, end quote. Now, that's a powerful statement. Now, that was the Reverend J.A. Garfield, but the Reverend J.A. Garfield is also our 20th president, the 20th president, James A. Garfield. He was a pastor. He not only was a pastor, but he preached revival while he was in the White House. So that's how I respond to it. You've got a president who's already been at the highest level who was a pastor.
Mr. Taylor, before I let you go, you're one of the founding members of the Frederick Douglass Foundation for Patriot Pastors. Let me just ask you about the overall, besides the debt, the overall moral direction of this country and our place in the world. We've had reports today from our Jerusalem Bureau of the rise of Iran. We had it from London about the collapse of Christianity in Western Europe. We're going to have Oliver Lane on in a moment to talk about a Christian hymn that's been turned to a hymn about Allah. What do you think the direction of the United States is right now?
I think the direction of the United States is we need repentance. If we're going to be moving in the right direction, repentance has to happen. There has to be change. We have to be moving in a direction where people can actually get up in the morning and feel good about working, where they're not just having to work 3 and 4 jobs just to make a living, but they can also move in a direction where they have a good spirit about. They don't trust Congress. I don't trust Congress. People don't trust it. And so what we need to do is get into an atmosphere where repentance is there, because that's the only thing that's going to move in the right direction. Because this nation was founded on biblical principles, despite what revisionist historians want to tell you. So that's the direction I want us to go in a direction that points directly to doing what's right, being in a position where we can make wise decisions, where we can feel comfortable about that, and not have to worry about all those other issues.
And the thing, you're running as a hardcore constitutional conservative, and you're not preaching. You're not a reverend that goes to the high end churches and the wealthy churches. Your stuff is dealing with Hispanic youth and Black youth and others that are barely scraping by, the underclass of this country. Correct? How can when all the other Black preachers, it looks like, are preaching more government and more handouts and more abortion and everything like that? How does a constitutionalist survive in that environment?
You stand on integrity. You stand on principle. And if you're standing on truth, you're always on the right side. Always.
James Taylor is running for the 4th Congressional District. He's primarying Representative Congressman Tom Cole. Reverend Taylor, thank you. We're going to have a big story up on you and much more of you on Breitbart News Daily and the Breitbart site in the days and weeks ahead. But, sir, not only are you an American patriot, you're an American hero. Thank you very much. We're going to take
Steve?
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you to I need to plug my website.
Yes. Let's get to all that. Give us the website.
TaylorOK.com. TaylorOK.com. I would love for you guys to, those of you who are out there, support me. It's going to take.
Hold. It's Taylor. It's Taylor OK. All one word. .com. We'll have
TaylorOK.com.
We'll have that for those of you in the audience that don't get that over the air. We're going to have that up on the website in the story. TaylorOK.com. Reverend James Taylor from Oklahoma. Sir, thank you very much. Real honor to have you on.
Steve and Alex, thank you. It's a great pleasure. My honor. Have a blessed day.